Hi, Matt Corker and Britt Gillino, and anybody else who might be watching this video. My name is Carly Greenhill, and I am a full-time educator at the Lululemon Athletica Johnson Street location in Victoria, BC. The purpose of this video today, why I'm making this video, is to answer the question, what impact will I make with my experience and knowledge on a trip to Asia in order to learn more about our factories, learn more about the LLO and our vendors, sourcing and quality aspects of our product. I, of course, when learning about this opportunity, was completely excited and struck with the possibility of having experience and knowledge in this area. And in order to share with you fully why that is so exciting to me, I thought I should tell you a bit about myself. So as I mentioned, I am a full-time educator. I started with the company about 4 years ago, was hired as an educator at the Kelowna location. I moved into key leading and then spent a year as an assistant manager, which was so valuable. Nowadays, you can find me probably behind a computer screen. I take care of the social media for the Johnson Street location and have the privilege of organizing some really wicked community events. Love those yoga events. Just got back from Winnerless Whistler, which was amazing as well. I also earlier this year finished a degree, my bachelor's with a double major in psychology and women's studies. And I'm really, really passionate about social justice and issues with equality. In order for me to, really delve in and answer what impact I would make with an experience like this and a trip like this, investigating our factories and product quality and sourcing matters, is that I came to Lululemon specifically 4 years ago because I was, 20 at the time, and really evaluating the fact that what I was doing, even as a 20-something, wasn't a complete match for my values and what I care about and I'm really, really passionate about, which is equality, which is sustainability, which is, social, economic, environmental solutions to be as just as possible. And I was struck. I really had this feeling like maybe this is a company that I could make a difference through and that I belong in. And I was hooked. And, 4 years later, I'm still here. And I still have a lot of questions. I mean, I love our series that we did about, Made in Sri Lanka. And I love how far the Community Legacies page has come. It's so full. But my questions are still really, they're there. After working with the company for 4 years, I get people in my program, I get friends, I get strangers who ask me, like, what are you doing out there? And what is so different about this company versus Nike or versus any other retailer? I feel so strongly that I want to be able to 100% authentically speak to the fact that I'm confident we are doing things differently. So impact-wise, I feel like regardless as if I go on this trip or not, being done my degree, it's about time I actually start walking my walk. And one of those things actually lies in our Victoria store, is that we have so much room, being a city that we are, for more community programs, more community events, more things that take a pulse on what matters to our community, especially in the downtown area. I feel like in store we are a really wonderful team of educators. We're so knowledgeable, but I'm confident that this trip would provide me with the backup and the knowledge I need to make an impact in two ways. One being that at the in-store level, I feel as if I'm a leader in the store and really passionate about teaching others. So I'm confident that the material that I would learn about being overseas, I could take back and just enrich our knowledge in the way we speak to our guests in such, like a wholesome way, that we could actually, talk about the aspects of the clothing that are technically wonderful and so brilliant and so cool, but there's this other layer that we don't always see about, there are people who make these clothes and why they put a seam where and how they construct a thing, in such a way, their life story, their work, and what they do, it's so invisibilized. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's something to dig into. And what would it be like? What would it be like if we looked at something like our black stretchy pants and we saw its history, not just its utility? How would we connect with our guests then? if we're authentically speaking to why our clothing is made the way it is, why it's sourced where it is, where we get our materials and how we put it together and who we hire to put it together, how we take care of them, how's the relationship there, what is that like with our guests? Secondly, I feel like that adds a richness to, a quick interaction in the store, and I would happily be the person to bring that back to my store. But secondly, what does that unlock in the community, in the education for our community? And what's on my mind is twofold, that there's a level of corporate responsibility that we say we strive for. So what would it be like to actually reach out to our community and either talk about our corporate responsibility or have it be an ongoing conversation, like what can we do better, what can we change? And I'd love to be on the forefront of that conversation. I'd love to be asking the questions and taking in the feedback and really being a cause in the matter, that we are making a difference, and not just making a difference, but being a stand for these type of issues. I also am really passionate about community-led sustainability, and it's not just about, the sustainability of our business and where we are overseas, where we are in North America or around the world as like retailers, and then as well as factories and vendors, but it's about the sustainability of who we're interacting with and the environment that we happen to be in, and making sure that, we're leaving it a better place. We're not just another business that's in it for the financial gain. So what I'm really trying to say is that you want a person like me on your team when you're going over there. I have this huge list of questions, and I love this company so much, and I am just endlessly grateful that it's been a platform for me to finish my degree. It's paid for my degree. And I'm so passionate about these things with my team and my community and the world, that you're going to want someone like me there to be a sponge and soak up all this knowledge, ask these questions, take this back, and whether it's looking at what we could do better or whether it's being a big reinforcer for what we're already doing that's amazing, I'm going to be that, and I'm going to spread it. I'm going to be that, and I'm going to be a stand for it. So thank you for listening to my big spiel. I am absolutely 100% requesting that you take me on this trip so I can really get the ball rolling and do what I'm passionate about. So thank you for your time, your consideration. It was a pleasure talking with you, and I'll see you guys soon.